Frankie.
What up? What's up, big guy?
So, yeah, no,
Hey,
it's early morning. But yeah, no, things are well. I'm in Milan right now, leaving tomorrow, going to going to Austria. But yes, things are going well.
What? Awesome.
Yes,
dude.
yes. You ever seen The Sound of Music?
Yes.
Yes.
That's where they filmed the sound. It's called Salzburg. I think that's how you pronounce it.
That's sick.
But gonna go see what's up. Yes,
Wow.
but yes, things are going well. What about you guys, Frankie? What's going on with you, bro?
I'm babysitting my cousins in Utah this week. Today's the first day, and I'll be here till Saturday. So my
Wow.
my aunt and uncle are in Dubai. My uncle's a singer, and he's singing at
Whoa.
a wedding in Dubai this week. It's pretty sweet. They're on the flight right now.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, not quite as exciting as traveling the world like you, but still
Dude,
fun taking care of some
hey,
children.
hey, dude, that's what you got to do. I like
What
it.
you
I
gotta
would do
do.
it. If I had the opportunity.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love these guys. So fun.
that's so fun. What do you
Jake, what are you
want?
up to?
Yeah, what's everyone else up to?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Get my car right now so somebody else can go. There she is.
David, what's up, bro?
Appreciate you, man. All right.
Hey, how's it going?
They're good. Yes, I'm pretty good. I appreciate you. Thank
Good.
you.
That fire looks so nice behind you, David.
Thank you. It's actually, I have a fireplace, but that's actually just my TV. But I have a fireplace right behind it. I just haven't mounted my TV. And so until I
Oh,
mount it, I just have a
oh.
fire playing on my TV.
I miss having a fire and like actually cold enough weather to have a fire. I really miss that
Exactly.
weather so bad.
Yeah. So
Texas.
we had actually a huge like hurricane that like came through North and South Carolina recently. So there was like a bunch of just trees down. So we've actually had a couple bonfires, really good bonfires this fall.
Oh, that's the best.
So
Wow.
I love that.
yeah.
I'm huge about bonfires. Like I love them so much. Every time I hang out with my friends, I'm like, we're doing a fire. And we're
Yeah. When
always
you wake
literally
up,
like, sorry,
I know when you wake up and your clothes smell like smoke, you know you had a good night.
Literally.
you need.
Hey,
That's what everybody's missing in their lives.
okay, guys, thanks for coming, everyone. We always run short on time. Today, we're not going to run short. We're going to accomplish everything. So, people will probably join in. Maybe they won't. Maybe this is all of us. But either way, Gemma, I know we have a question to get everyone started real quick. We're gonna do like what, 30 seconds each or a minute? What do you think's fair? Like 30 seconds?
Let's
Like a
give
quick,
everybody a
like,
minute. Let's give everybody
okay,
a minute. Yeah.
okay, fire the question and then you go first, and then we'll go Jake, David, Frankie, Jess if you want, and then whoever else joins, or
Right.
whatever order. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Thanks for coming, you guys. And reminder, we're here to learn something new. We're here to cultivate curiosity, and we're here to just cultivate a lifelong passion for learning. And that's why we're all here. So I want to hear from everybody one thing you've done today to cultivate and create energy in your body, in your mind, in your existence. What's one thing that you did today to attend to that need? Anybody?
I thought we were going in order.
Wait, who was, yeah, then you're first.
I can go.
You're first.
I played my guitar today, and things are starting to click for me. I'm got this book I'm learning out of right now, and it's been going pretty well. So playing the guitar, exploring my musical gifts, creating songs, melodies. I
Mm,
really enjoy doing that. So that's
mm.
what I did today.
I love that. That's so good. Music is
Yes,
is
thank
such
you.
an energy producer. Yeah.
Really
Okay.
good.
Jacob or David? David, go.
Yeah. Okay, so today was a little crazy at work, but I did midway through the day. I got to hit the gym, which was a nice like de-stressor. And it was like 2 o'clock, and I was like, gotta get these pitch decks out the door today. But I was like, you know what? I was like, I've already been working for a couple hours. So it was like, I need a mental break. So I went and hit the gym and I came back feeling refreshed. So yeah, that was nice.
That's awesome. Do you work from home?
Yeah, we have an office here in Greenville. It's complicated. We have an office in Greenville, one in LA, and then a bunch of hybrid people. So we're like hybrid.
Mm.
So I can work from home.
You can
Yeah.
work from home and just take a break and go to the gym and come back.
Exactly.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go.
That's awesome. That's the life.
Let's
Alrighty.
go.
Jacob?
Sorry, dude, this guy called me right when y'all started popping the question, and I was still on, but I was like talking to him on the phone. It was crazy. So I didn't hear anything. What was the question?
What's one thing you did today that created energy in your body?
Oh wow, that's a really good question. Created energy in my body. One thing I did. Uh, wow, that is a really good question. I'm trying to track my day right now.
That's how you
I
know
would,
it's a good question when you have to think about it and you can't just
yeah.
blurt it out. Let's go, Gemma. Great question.
Um, okay. Yeah, I think I spent some time. So Wednesday, I get to like have like a couple of minutes to talk at this big worship night called United at our campus at Texas State. And I was just kind of just sitting with God and just trying to figure out what I was gonna say. And I felt like he was just saying the Holy Spirit. And so I just felt like me kind of studying and refreshing my mind about the reality that we have the Holy Spirit inside of us was just super like refreshing to my soul, and it gave me energy when it comes to just my being and my soul. So I guess not so much physical, but more energy to my life. So that's my answer.
I love it.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's true. It's true. Gemma, what do you have?
I mean, my whole morning was so energizing. I feel like every single thing I did like lit me up even more. All of my work tasks were super inspiring. I had a meeting with a client, a potential client on FaceTime today. And the entire hour we were talking, I was just like, I could feel the energy boiling up inside of me. It was like my favorite thing ever. But physically, what I did, I went for a really long walk and got my thoughts organized. So that cultivated some really beautiful energy for the evening and wound me down because I get really wound up when I'm working. Creates a lot of like restless, excited energy. So taking a walk really calms my body down. So that's what I did to rebalance and recenter.
Walking is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I love walking. I did two things. First thing was mentally, which I don't normally do this, but I made a video, which is kind of random. The question goes along with it, but I made a video. I have a couple of videos on my camera roll from like way back, and I'll like when something is important happened or whenever like there's a big problem or if I just want to document, I'll like make a video of like what's latest going on in my life, like current, like maybe financial, maybe like relationship, maybe like living situation, anything like that. I'll like make a video. And so I made like a 10-minute video today. Like I was just like, oh, I should just do this. And it like really helped me like regroup like some energy and some stuff. It was like really interesting because I also watched another video back from like March of the beginning of this year. And I was like, whoa, this is insane. I watched the video of my problems then and what I was talking about doing and my goals and how I like knocked them all out and how I was stressed about it and how it worked out. And then I'm like making this video today about my new things. It's just crazy. And then my physical thing was going for a walk. But like the video really put everything in perspective. And if y'all don't do that, I would definitely recommend
So
like
you do a
doing
video diary?
Yeah. So it's like not every day. It's like once
Yeah.
maybe like something big happens or you're in like a big problem or you're in a big win or a big loss, whatever it may be. Right now, today there was like no specific reason. It was like, hey, I'm out of the country. Like, here's what I'm learning so much being gone. Like, here's what's happening. Here's what I'm doing when I get back. So much clarity. So that was like a really big, like full circle clarity. Like it was crazy.
That's
It's really
so
cool.
cool. I really like that exercise. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it was awesome. Um,
Jesse, do you want to go or do you want to not? That's my brother. So I'm gonna guess he doesn't want to go. He's driving. Okay, good excuse. Um,
that's fun.
Michael, do you want to get us started on our content
Yes,
today, which is
let's do it.
clarity and focus, and the forces internally and externally that help assimilate that reality for us. And we're going to hear some real life examples of
Yes,
apply mental clarity and focus, and then I'll do the last portion of application. Yeah.
let's do it. Hey Aubrey, what's going on? Aubrey just joined. What's up, Aubrey?
Hey, sorry, I'm driving.
No, you're good. You're good. I just want to say hi.
Hi.
Okay. So, I'm gonna start with two things today, really simple, and then a little story at the end. Like this is a really simple concept. Jake and I were talking about this the other day, pretty sure. But um it's internal and external forces. And so this is pretty much like being directed inwardly and then external forces. And so things on the outside. So like um yeah, so essentially in life we have every single day there's different external forces that are pulling us or pushing us in different directions, whether that's people or opportunities or circumstances or problems or yeah, like opportunities, anything like that. um Things every day that are external, that are like outside of us. um and then there's internal, which is what we control, who we are. Maybe our, you could call it like a more compass, right? If you're maybe a believer, you would say God is your internal, and that's kind of your the lens you see life out of. And so main focus for this like little brief like idea is just to get y'all, thinking about life and the way you view things and the way you go about things, and that's being directed inwardly by who you are and what you believe in, and being kind of like, imagine like a tree with a deep root system, right? Like in or like a in the ground, like deeply rooted, right? Like with a big base. And when wind comes, you're steady, you're strong. And when the wind blows, because it always will, right? That's life, that's outward, external forces. When it blows, right, you're not rigid to where you're just going to stay still. You're still going to bend a little and sway with the wind, but you're not going to be like a twig where one wind gust comes and you snap to the ground, right? We want to be strong internally and have what we want. It really just depends where you stand. But I think for me, God is the center. And so internally knowing what those things are, and having that as a center, as my internal, when things come and the wind blows and pushes, is actually a thing where trees, the roots grow deeper when the wind comes, which is crazy. So you're becoming stronger, you're becoming more resilient when those external things happen. So it's really just a simple concept. The whole goal of this is just to get you guys thinking mentally, and like even for myself, just to like really think about like, okay, who do I want to be? Where do I want to be? What do I want my external to be like? Jem and I talked about this the other night on the phone too, is like who you are and what you're doing is all based on internal things. So all of your friends, all of your outward circumstances, majority of the time, over a long period of time, is a complete result and reflection of who you are internally. So you'll notice people like in constant relationships with other people and they keep getting cheated on or they're toxic. And it's like, oh, like I keep going to this same situation. Those aren't coincidences. I don't believe majority of the time. I think it goes the same way as far as attracting good people and good things, right? Whatever you are internally, that's what externally is going to reflect. And that's not always the case. There's definitely outliers, but over time, like majority of it is going to be a result of who you are internally and what you're putting out, right? You reap what you sow. So that's pretty much like the main concept here that I wanted to touch on, is like who you are, where you're going, what you're doing is all up to you, right? There's something called free will. And so we have the opportunity to carve out things. And I believe God, you know, paves the path, but we still have to walk. And so I think it's just really cool how we have the ability to go and do that. So that's really the main topic. It really is just to get y'all thinking and kind of maybe ponder on that thought more. But everything is within like a grasp, like who you want to be, what you want to do, is all very. It's so anything you see in this world that you like or that you want, you could go get. Like it's such like a big. I feel like it's so crazy to really think about, but like if you see something that you like, you could go attain it if you conquer that internal, right? Then the external will follow. So, anywho, that's pretty much it. And then I have a little story about the other day. Jem and I were talking on the phone, and so it's just simple. But I was going for training for a marathon in December, and yeah, it's just simple. The other day, I had a long run I had to go do, or I got to go do, and I didn't want to run. And the night before, I was just like mentally preparing. I like wrote it down in my journal and I was like, I'm gonna go like run tomorrow. It's gonna be cold. I'm gonna have to run a long distance. Like as much as I love running, like when you before you start the run, it's never enjoyable. Most of the time, a lot of times it is actually. But when you're running a long distance like that by yourself, it's like, oh, like so. Anywho, I'm mentally prepared, right? I use the internal of like, hey, this is who I am. I'm not going to be swayed by external weather or by external feeling, right? My emotion was, I don't want to do this. But my internal was like, hey, you're going to do this because you committed to running this marathon almost a year ago. You're going to go train because you're not going to go halfway, do something. You go all the way and do it and put all your effort in. And so my internal was like, no, external is telling me not to go run this long distance to train for the marathon in less than a month. But the internal was like, no, we're going to go get it done. And that's that. Like, it's that simple. And I wrote it down in my journal and I woke up the next day early and I went and did it. And when I was done, I was like, wow, like, I know why I do this because it's always so worth it. And so that's just like a little, like, very minuscule, like, example. But I think y'all get the point. So if you have a strong internal compass, everything else follows. And I think it's really important to set boundaries and have like a like I don't think there's anything wrong with having like a very strict um like set of like a compass of like this is where I'm going. And it's not like you have to shove, elbowing people out of the way type of thing. Like you can do it out of very much place of love, but I think it's important to like notice sometimes there's things that you need in your life to go do things and other times there's things that you need to let go of. So I hope that turns some things up and gets y'all thinking, but that was pretty much the main thing. And I know Gemma has a lot, so
No, don't put that pressure on me. I don't have a lot. But I like how you highlighted the things that you did, the journaling. You talk to yourself in your head. You
yeah.
had a conversation, internal barometer. So the internal conversation was, I committed to doing this, but I also part of me is telling me I don't want to do this. And there was a battle between the two. And until you put it into a physical material form of journaling about it, the other side was winning. And so
Yeah.
there are always like multiple conversations going on in your head of different debates of what should you do to be the most effective right now or what you want to do right now versus your long-term goal. What should I be doing to prepare for the long term? So things like journaling, having a conversation with a friend, preparing your meals for the day, going to sleep at a good time. Those are all
Yeah.
tasks we can do to align ourselves mentally and lock in to the task or the purpose of what we're doing in the future, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. I think that's beautiful. I think for myself, I've been focusing on seeing an area of my life where there is a deficiency and seeing if I can apply the nourishment in all the other areas of my life that I can to that one area with deficiency and see how that can prosper. And so constantly, every single day, I can always work on my strengths, but it takes extra focus and discipline and attention to work on my weaknesses. And so writing about that, it's become what I write about more because it's something I want to nourish more. But I want to talk about to you guys about a few ways that essential oils can cultivate our focus and impact the body, and impact memory bonds within the body. Frankincense in particular, that's all that I'm going to talk about. Frankincense helps improve focus, concentration, and mental clarity. So this is just, I don't have frankincense with me right now. It's really sad, but I have Spanish sage with me. One freaking drop of this on your body anywhere. I prefer putting it on my temples, behind my ears, and on my wrists. Then inhaling it. But then also, if you want to take it to the next level, by the time I finish reading all these benefits, and I actually have a book right here that lists like 140 benefits of frankincense alone, you guys are going to be wanting to take it internally. And it's actually phenomenal if you take it internally. So frankincense helps improve focus. Oh, we have a raised hand. Ask a question. Go.
Wait, is frankincense an essential oil?
Yes. It
Like
is also,
it's a certain type of essential oil? Essential oil?
it's an essential oil just like this. If you ever heard of doTERRA essential oils, the best
Yeah, it's just called frankincense.
yes, it's just called frankincense.
All
doTERRA
right, I'm
also
good.
has a capsule that you can take internally, just came out this year with boswellic acid, which is also something, a component of frankincense, but when it's the essential oil is extracted out of it, it's one of the solid acids that flows to the bottom or drops to the bottom that they capsulated and put it internally. So it has incredible benefits when you take it internally.
Thanks for explaining that. Continue. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I knew.
I appreciate it. Protects against age-related cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases, which is incredible. And I've seen this in real time. We had a lady who came into our garage sale that was happening back in Washington before we left. And she had, I don't know what the neurodegenerative disease is, but where her hands were shaking. And she didn't have control, basically, brain to hand or tissue control. And we put a drop of frankincense on her hands and they stopped shaking. So there's an immediate communication between frankincense and the effect it has on your nerves at every single point of your body. It relaxes muscles and relieves muscle tension and spasms. So that's exactly what had happened in her muscle tension in her body. But it's also something that if you're having a moment of prolonged study or prolonged focus that you need to apply to work, people often get headaches because of their posture or the stagnant sitting. So frankincense is an incredible one that you can apply topically or take internally or just have in a diffuser that constantly being in that environment, it's going to affect multiple things that are going to enhance your productivity. Enhances meditation and spiritual connection, which is a beautiful one. Natural energy booster and reduces feelings of fatigue. It's an it has anti-inflammatory effects on the brain. So when we take it internally, it reduces inflammation in the brain, which is why it feeds into the incredible memory and the focus and the concentration and mental clarity. It has a positive impact on emotions, promoting feelings of calmness and contentment, and it improves sleep quality, which I've experienced myself. It reduces inflammation in autoimmune conditions, which I have experienced and is massive. So autoimmune conditions is when there's a certain system in your body that is running on autopilot. Like you don't get to control it. You get to control your central nervous system sometimes, but there are other systems that run without your control. And when it can reduce the inflammation of those kind of systems, are people who have like arthritis or eczema or hormonal conditions. Like there's a million different autoimmune conditions, systems that run without our control. This is something that can affect the inflammation that causes us to when we are experiencing something stressful or inflammatory, for our response to not be so aggressive. That helps us handle daily situations better. So the way that I experienced it was reduced inflammation when I would go work out. So or when I would face a stressful situation, like a stressful conversation. I'm naturally very emotional and sensitive, so conversations often will stir up emotions for me. I noticed a massive difference when I started taking essential oils internally and topically. I did a season about 3 months applying essential oils on my spine and on my feet, and like multiple nights a week. And it completely changed my body's internal emotional response to things that would usually make me become very inflammatory or reactive emotionally. And I'm saying that essential oils are doing the job for me. And it supports, lastly, digestive health. There's probably 100 more benefits that I could list off, but all of those in itself, one oil took care of your entire body. And it improves things like your skin, your memory, like we said, it improves eyesight. It locks in so many things. It improves, it actually can remove scars because it tightens and tones skin. So things like scars can disappear. And I've actually seen it happen
Yes.
on myself and on my family. So beautiful things with just one essential oil that we can do to improve our mental clarity and focus when we have things going on long term, when we have things inhibiting our body from performing top level right now in this moment, especially people with autoimmune conditions. I thought that was beautiful because I know that it's something that.
And yeah, just to note as well, what's cool about frankincense is obviously it's all natural, so it's pure, but along with its many benefits, with mental concentration and things like that, and wanting to focus inward, a lot of it is battling the mind. And so anything to enhance that mental aspect is huge when wanting to focus internally and be directed on what you want to do rather than what the world wants you to do or what others or any other circumstance is pushing you towards. And so I think that's where the tie is between the frankincense and I've noticed a big difference too. I normally will put frankincense on my feet every night before bed, along with serenity and balance. But it's a really good. It's like a very versatile oil, and so
Anti-inflammatory effects on the brain. That means it literally calms every single system in your body.
Yeah.
Your brain governs the way your body reacts to anything in your environment. So it is the strength in your tree when the wind blows, basically, your brain. And so if we can bolster and strengthen the brain in how we react to things around us and how we handle things around us, we can strengthen the way that we're performing internally and the way that our body processes things. Because every single situation, that symptom that comes up in your body, your back hurts, you got a cough, you got a sneeze, you hurt your shoulder, like any symptom you experience, it's governed by the brain, and how it handles it is governed by the brain as well.
This is very true. Okay, well, now we have about 10 minutes left. We're doing great on time. Let's go around, and whoever wants to, we can go popcorn style here, whatever. Whoever wants to share maybe like an internal, external moment where you either succeeded and you were like, no, I'm internal, or maybe you failed. If you guys want to get vulnerable here and share something that you can think of, this would be really cool because we're all just learning and growing here. Jake's got the mic off. This is good.
Wait, I'm going to repeat that question, but I do want to say this. That was amazing. Mikey, just hearing you talk on that first one was just really wise, and it's really awesome, dude. That was really sick. And same to you, Gemma. That was great. Great info on the what essential oils can do. I know Mike's a big essential oil guy, so I always get the rundown, but that from your perspective, that was great. I'd never heard of the Frankenstein one, or I forgot how you say it. But
Yeah.
it was genuinely
frankincense.
Frankincense all
bro,
over.
That's what they used on
amazing.
Baby Jesus, bro. Baby Jesus.
Yes.
No, actually?
Yes.
Bro, read it in the Bible, dog.
That's,
Come
dude,
on.
well, I'm about to buy some. Hey, send me the link, Gemma. Hey, so what was the question? I'll answer first. What was the question?
Okay, so internal, external, right? Obviously, we know that external forces can be really strong, worldly flesh. Give us an example of a failed internal, external, or a succeeded internal, external battle, right? Could be literally anything. Could be simple, could be complex, but we've got like enough for each person to give like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes to share. So if you have a battle,
Yeah.
you can either talk about a win or a fail, or
Okay.
whatever if you
Yeah.
want.
No, totes. One that pops right in the brain is yeah, I would say, and sometimes I really, okay, yeah, I'll say this. Yes, so this was Sunday morning. I woke up just feeling very melancholy and just super kind of going through the motions. I was kind of just tired. I didn't put a mouth strip on that night, so maybe I was breathing from the mouth. Who knows that night? But I just woke up not feeling super like rejuvenated. I felt kind of and I had church that morning. And I'm going in and just not really feeling it. I did not feel like worshiping. It was kind of loud. I was just kind of like I don't know, just not feeling motivated. And I think what's really important sometimes, and this, Michael, literally, it's the same thing of your run, and it goes for all things. It's like I sacrificed my own comfort and what I felt in that moment um, to just worship, anyways. And so, in this way, it's like I was sacrificing what was comfortable and what I felt like. And for me, I was putting a sacrifice of my comfort to God. Like, okay, God, I don't feel like this. I'm gonna sacrifice how I feel and what I want, and I'm gonna give to you. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna minister. I'm gonna worship to you. And it didn't, like, nothing crazy happened. Like, I just did, and then it's because I wasn't based on feeling. And then I remember at the very end of the message, I ended up taking another step of like going to the altar and just getting on my knees and just surrendering once again of my way and what it looks like for my life, and just sacrificially giving when I don't feel like it to God. And I remember just walking out of there feeling very just rejuvenated by God, and like better than coming in when it comes to just His Spirit and awareness, only because I laid down and sacrificed um, kind of my own junk in a way. And so that was just a battle I remember winning this weekend. And glory be the Lord. But yeah, it was great. That's my answer there. So,
Dude, I love it. That's a win.
yeah.
Praise
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thanks, bro.
Let's go,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Thanks for sharing. That's huge.
Yeah, bro.
That's really cool. All right, who's next?
I could share a little bit. First of all, everyone that's shared so far, this has been a really cool call.
Yes.
Everyone has their own input, and it's just very unique to hear all the different perspectives of how people tackle their daily schedules and have make life work for them, you know. So congrats to all of us for doing that. Something that I did this week that I proved to myself as an external win, I think would be just putting together my schedule for this week, taking care of my family and my cousins here. I packed my guitar. I was like, I need to do things that are productive instead of mindlessly scroll all day, because there's like a period of like 5 hours where I'm just at the house by myself. And so I made a promise to myself that I was going to practice, put together some flyers for my business and put them under people's windshields at like the Lowe's parking lots, and put together a couple of other business materials like mailers to send in the mail to people with my business. So I'm going to design those this week. But today I already proved to myself that I practiced the guitar and did that instead of scrolling. So I just feel a lot better about myself when I say something. Like you said, Michael, when you say you're going to do something and then you follow through. So that was a big win for me. And my day just felt so much better because I was proving to myself, oh, I can sit down and and do this, even though I don't necessarily want to right now, and I feel good about it. So,
Yeah. Dude,
yeah,
love it.
that was my
That's
win.
so huge. That's so true. Because when you do that, when you keep proving to yourself, okay, maybe I can do it. And then when you get it done, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. At least
Yeah,
when
totally.
normally.
It took me 10 minutes. It was like I
Yeah.
learned a lot. So
And the mental barrier is
definitely.
gone, and you're like, oh, I can do more. You free up space. Dude, that's
Mhm.
huge. Love
Yeah,
it. All right.
it's
We
great.
got
Bring
4.
things full circle too. Bringing things full circle in your mind. Like we've talked about this before, and I think I also brought up the concept a couple weeks back of signing the masterpieces that you've created. It's like you just did
Yes.
that, a moment of celebration, of gratitude, of completion, being like, "Whoa, that's hanging up on my in the art studio of my mind." Like hats off to me because I did that, and that completion literally it makes your art studio that much more beautiful. You know, it's not just like laying around there not signed, you know, it's finished. I actually had a moment like that today. I've been putting together testimonials of what my clients have sent to me, and I'm just like so nervous. And this past weekend I was driving to work, actually from work to the gym, and I had this moment of like literally a little picture vision came up in my mind of exactly what I want the testimonial to look like. I'm like,
Mm,
yes. And so like I grasped it. I screenshot it in my mind. And today I got up and I was like ready to go. So I pull up the picture, I lay out the testimonial, I refined it with ChatGPT and like made it sound so good. And actually shared it with the client I met up with middle of the day. We had a FaceTime call and I was able to share it with her, and it felt good because I had refined it. And now I'm ready and happy to share it with other people. Now it's like a completed element of my work that I've literally been putting off for 3 weeks. And so an internal battle, but also something different came up for me because there was a moment of inspiration that like put it to like, oh, now it's easy to accomplish. Now I'm excited to finish this.
yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
So good.
Love that. Thank you.
Okay, we're like
2
really
minutes.
That's pretty cool.
2 minutes. We got one more person that can share.
who wants to go. Sorry, David and Aubrey.
I have to pick.
I can go. I'll go really quick and then I'll give Aubrey a chance. But this weekend was like a really big major win for my sister and brother-in-law who live here in Greenville. They've been looking for a house. They've like put offers on houses that we like really wanted them to get, and like they all fell through. And then they finally went to see one. And we actually went yesterday and saw it. And they saw the house in the morning and then they put an offer in it. And then they realized that their parents like knew the person who had lived there. And so they found out that they were like looking for a house. They're like, oh yeah, we know your parents. So we're going to give you this house in like the perfect location. Like everything just came together so nicely. And it was like literally only a God thing because like they had already
Wow.
been looking and it was like getting kind of discouraging, like not being able to find anything like, you
Yeah.
know, within budget and location. And the fact that this one just like came up perfectly within like 9 hours, they like were like closing on it, which was just like crazy. So yeah, that was a big major win from this weekend. And I'll let Aubrey go.
I love it. Thanks for
love
sharing.
that.
Aubrey, Riv, you got like 30
Okay,
seconds. Sorry.
30
I'm so
seconds. Is
sorry.
it gonna cut us off?
I
Yeah, I
hope it
will.
doesn't, but
Okay,
it
it's
might.
not that deep. It's really not that deep. I just liked what you said about like sinking your roots deep. And I feel like I had a moment this weekend. I play volleyball and I had a really bad weekend, like yeah, personally for like playing wise. And it like really shook me more than it should have. And so I feel like just kind of having like a refocus moment of like, where are my roots? What's my identity rooted in?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really like what you said about that. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk more about that later, Aubrey. I wanna call you. Okay, we're running out of time. Guys, thanks for coming. We're still working on the group chat. Instagram or Discord, we're not sure yet. We're trying to figure out what's gonna work best, but you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming.
Instagram
and
so we
have-
can send each other reels.
Go